history is full of women who challenged the status quo and contributed their quota to make the world a better place for all of us. They did not only do this against all odds, but against a world that refused to acknowledge their achievements justly. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Intrepid Ladies Tribe. I'm Ruth Bella Ihidi, your favorite anchor. Uh-huh. This channel, the Intrepid Ladies Tribe, was created to help insecure women blossom into adventurous individuals who exhibit more faith than fear in fulfillment of their God ordained purposes. On today's episode, I'm speaking on resilience for triumph. Resilience for triumph. I want to explore real life examples of women who face tremendous challenges, yet, through their determination and unwavering spirit, have emerged victorious, and I'm hopeful that we will draw some inspiration and strength from them. Resilience is a trait that is often associated with strength and courage. It is the ability to recover quickly from difficult situations and keep going despite obstacles. Resilience is having the passion and perseverance to push through whatever comes your way so you can finish whatever you started. It is sticking with your plans, not just for the moment but at all times. You can be uniquely talented or skilled, but you won't be able to achieve your long term goals without the sustainable effort. In order to achieve your goals, you must be willing to do what it takes for as long as it takes. All through history, women have faced many adversities but overcame them through perseverance and thrived. Among such women are the following: Helen Keller. Helen Adams Keller was an American author, disability rights advocate, political activist, and a lecturer. She lost her sight and hearing due to an illness when she was only 19 months old. Despite being blind, she was able to learn how to read and write through language and sign. Remember, she was not only blind but deaf as well. She attended Radcliffe College of Harvard University and became the first deaf and blind person in the United States to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. She was a prolific author who wrote several books and hundreds of speeches and essays on several topics. She was viewed as isolated but was very in touch with the outside world. She was able to enjoy music by feeling the beat, and she was able to have a strong connection with animals through touch. She was delayed at picking up language at first, but that didn't stop her from having a voice. She was a founding member of the American Liberties Union. On September 14, 1964, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Lyndon B. Johnson, one of the United States' two highest civilian honors. She was inducted into the Alabama Women's Hall of Fame in 1971 and was one of 12 inaugural inductees to the Alabama Writers Hall of Fame on June 8, 2015. Feats that most able bodied individuals have not been able to achieve. Anne Sullivan Macy. Anne Sullivan Macy was an American teacher, best known to be the instructor and lifelong coach of Helen Keller. She contracted trachoma, an eye disease which left her partially blind at the age of 5. Her parents were impoverished. Her mother died of tuberculosis when she was only 8 years old. Her father abandoned Anne and her siblings when she was 10 years old, and they were sent to live in an overcrowded home for the destitute, where her younger brother died a few months later. She, being determined, got admitted into the Peking School of the Blind. Other students looked down on her because of her rough and lower class ways. She faced humiliation, but her resilience made her succeed academically. She persevered and graduated as a class valedictorian. Anne Sullivan was a woman whose brilliance, passion, and tenacity enabled her to overcome a traumatic past and became a model for others disadvantaged by their physical bodies as well as by gender or social status. Her experience roused in her compassion and a fierce indignation for the plight of the poor and marginalized people. She was a pioneer in the field of education, and her work with Helen Keller became the blueprint for education of children who were blind, deafblind, or visually impaired that still continues today. In 1932, Anne Sullivan was awarded honorary fellowship from the Educational Institute of Scotland. Anne Sullivan was inducted into the National Women Hall of Fame in 2003. She found ability in her disability and used it to influence her world positively. If both Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan, who were both deafblind and blind, could, then what's stopping you? Captain Chinyere Kalu. Captain Chinyere Kalu is a Nigerian woman who became the first female pilot in Nigeria and the first woman to fly commercial plane in Nigeria and changed the aviation history forever. Despite her struggles and hardship, she also served as the rector and chief instructor of the Nigerian College of Aviation from October 2011 to February 2014. Captain Chinyere Kalu has countless awards and is a member of many prestigious organizations. The fact that it had never been done by anyone did not deter her. Despite the aviation industry being male dominated, she pushed through and emerged victorious. Nothing can stop a determined person. Marie Curie. Marie Curie was a Polish and naturalized French physicist and chemist who conducted a pioneering research on radioactivity. As a child, she suffered the death of her sister, and her mother died 4 years later. She received a general education in local schools, but was notable for her diligent work ethic, neglecting even food and sleep to study. Despite having a demanding career, she discovered polonium and radium in medicine and fundamentally changed our understanding of radioactivity. She was a woman of a strong conviction whose work provided important benefit for humanity. She persevered in light of the difficulties she faced and emerged victorious. Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove in 1879. When she was only 7 years old, her parents died, leaving her an orphan, and she had to work on the cotton fields to survive. She married at the young age of 14 and had her first child at the age of 18. 2 years after the birth of her daughter, her husband died, leaving her a single mother. As she puts it, I got my start by giving myself a start. Sarah made a new life for herself and her daughter while working in St. Louis, where her brothers worked as barbers. In 1890s, she began to lose some of her hair and she found that there was no product that addressed the issue. She experimented and tested and eventually formulated a scalp conditioning and healing products herself. Other women saw how fast her hair was growing and wanted some of the products. Like a lot of entrepreneurs, she had a personal need and realized there was a hole in the market which she filled with her wonderful hair grower. Walker once explained, I had to make my own living and my own opportunity, but I made it. Don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them. Not only was C.J. Walker among the first to address the health and beauty needs of the African American community, but she was also the pioneer of direct sales and the master of marketing. She created a legacy that lives on. According to Madam C.J. Walker, there are no shortcuts. For whatever success she achieved, have been the result of much hard work and many sleepless nights. Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell was a British and American physician, notable as the first woman to earn a medical degree in the United States and the first woman on the medical register of the General Medical Council for the United Kingdom. She was the first woman doctor of medicine in modern times. Elizabeth Blackwell was born on February 4, 1821. Her father's death in 1838, when she was just 17 years old, left the family in poverty. She undertook the study of medicine privately with sympathetic physicians, and in 1847 she began seeking admission to a medical school. All the leading schools rejected her application, but she was at length admitted to Geneva Medical College in Geneva, New York. Her months there were extremely difficult. She was bodily ostracized and harassed by her male counterparts. She was at first banned from classroom demonstration, but she persevered, and in January 1849, ranked first in her class. She became the first woman to graduate from medical school and the first modern day woman doctor of medicine. She was kind, yet tough. She was responsible, well educated, assertive, and most importantly, she was confident. Prophetess Deborah. Deborah was the only female judge in the Bible. She was a prophetess and the only female described as performing judicial functions in the Bible. Her perseverance, determination, and her God fearing character opened the door for God to trust her with more. She was both a charismatic military leader and a prophetess who led the Israelites to victory and out of bondage. She was courageous. She was called by God at a difficult time to lead. She stepped forward in bravery, in obedience to God, even at a time when Israel had no regard for women's perspective in leadership. Queen Esther. Queen Esther was married to a Persian king and kept her identity as a Jew hidden in the palace. Esther embodied the virtues of humility, beauty, courage, and intelligence. She used her privileged position for good as recorded in the book of Esther. Her people were on the edge of being annihilated, yet Esther selflessly risked her life to save them. Esther understood that the salvation of her people hinged on their special relationship with God. Breathing on the feet of a mortal king was merely a facade behind which to disguise the divine miracle. The true vehicle of their salvation would be repentance and prayer. First, get in line with the Creator, then with His creations. Esther set forth a plan for action, and because of her leadership, Esther saved her people. As a queen, Esther could personally have been spared from the decree of annihilation, but she stood with her people. To make her case, she needed to approach the king without being summoned, which was a capital offense. And she did so, saying, "If I perish, I perish." These remarkable stories serve as a testament to the power of resilience and the remarkable ability of the human spirit to overcome even the most daunting circumstances. We were not born to be a spectator in life. We were born for more, and you know that. So, what's stopping you? In life, we often encounter obstacles and setbacks that test our resolve and challenge our spirits. But it is during these difficult moments that we have the opportunities to showcase the strength and resilience of the human spirit. As we navigate the highs and lows of life, let us get inspired by these remarkable women and their remarkable achievements and embrace the power of the human spirit. The power to become the person that you want to be resides within you, and the only person that can stop you is you.